like to introduce stepping to our YouTube videos, and the stepping is very good before building up these muscle groups and these muscle groups. It's a weight bearing on the hip joint and the knee and the ankle joints, and perfect for balance. So if you're having any problems with balance or arthritis in any of these joints, the stepping would help. We're calling it stepping as opposed to walking because walking has a momentum to it. And in karate or in kung fu, it's called a controlled fall, walking. So it's like as soon as I take the step, my body is in momentum, and I better put my foot down or I'm going over. So it's a controlled fall every step, and it's amazing we don't fall more often. So if you're having trouble with balance, this stepping is without momentum of your torso. So this foot is just going out. So yeah, you see them doing Tai Chi in the park, and they look like they're going to take this very big step, but when they put their foot down, they didn't move. There are some forms that move, but most of the time, Tai Chi stepping is without moving, Pakwa stepping, all different kinds, and we'll try to run through a bunch of them today. The first step that we're going to talk about is the forward step. And it's pretty simple. I'll do it one facing you, one to the side, and so you can see it. It's basically you're bending your knees a little bit. Of course, you're not going over your toe, and everybody knows the safe balancing part. The heel would come up, and you step out. No moving. You shift forward, back heel comes up, and then stepping. And again, trying not to move. So you're picking a spot on the wall that's not moving, and you're just taking the step. It's a meditation in stepping and in walking. So you can step to the side, you can step forward, you could step back. In the forward step, basically you're sitting, you're in this pelvic tilt a little bit, and stepping. That's all that's required. You're trying not to bounce up and down too much. If you need a, you can see the idea. So it's you're just kind of, arms could be relaxed at the beginning. The main thing I think at the beginning, the first thing you would try to do is that the heel come up first. So your heel steps out. It's a small step. There's no lunging. It's a very small step. And you shift your weight forward. You wait 1 second. Get yourself settled. Pick up your back heel. Let this weight go down into this leg attached to the floor, and then take the step. Wait 2 seconds. Then move. You're waiting a couple of seconds, because see, if I pick my heel up, you could see I'm kind of sinking right down into this thing, getting ready to take this balancing step. It's kind of like I'm trying to stay in balance for the step. And after a while, you can take the slowest step you can. You can use a table, if possible, around your kitchen. Just holding on, very slight. You can use your kitchen table. You could take away the chairs from your kitchen table and use that as your practice. Go around that table. And your hand could be resting on there. It could get lighter. It could just get lighter and lighter and lighter touching as you move around the table. And you're trying to take that step without moving. So if your foot is in the air and you want to press down hard on the table to get that balance, to get used to that, your body is not lunging at all forward, that's fine. You have to start somewhere. Sometimes you can pick a spot in your house, it's maybe 3 or 4 steps. And that's what you can do. Everybody's like, oh, from here to the wall, I'm going to walk slow. I'm going to step without moving. And that's the basic practice of forward walking. You could add on if you wanted to, you could add on a typical walking in Tai Chi, right? So it's like the long leg is the long hand and the fingertips are on the wrist. So as you move forward, your arms could drop down. And then as you step, your palms would switch. So the long hand, long foot, and the other's on the wrist. Something like this. You can try then to coordinate. As the heel touches the ground, you want your fingertips to touch your wrist. You can move any way you want with your arms. Once you get used to the movement, you can do any movement. So you could start by making a circle. It could be a big circle. What's better for you? Maybe a small circle. It could be an opening and a closing. It really just does not matter. Maybe later we'll try a little more of a complicated movement, but for now, it doesn't really matter what you do. You just got to get started and get the step. The step is the most important thing. The arm movements are just there to help for another technique. The second step we're going to try to go over is the stepping to the side. It's the same idea, not moving. So your heel would come up and you step out and try not to move. Shift your weight over. Take your time. Heel comes up. Bring your foot close. Shifting your weight. Heel comes up, stepping out. Shift your weight. Heel comes up, stepping close. Shift your weight back. All weight bearing. Take your time. A few steps are necessary only. You don't need to take a lot. As you practice, if your legs get tired, you stop it. If you're going along a table, you cannot lean on the table. It's got to just be right out in front of you, like this maybe. Right? There's no leaning. This is from Tai Chi. Oh, you guys might have seen it in Tai Chi for arthritis. This is the stepping, right? Hands move like clouds. Steps, switches, right? This is the typical stepping. So you might see it in a lot of different ways. You might see it done a lot of different ways. But it's still basically stepping without moving first, right? Some forms emphasize the hip turning. So I step, and as I shift my weight, I'm turning my hip, sinking down into this ground, and then stepping. Shifting my weight, turning my hip, sinking down into this ground, and then stepping. So this would be the number 2 step to practice. The third step. The third step is this following step. It's your forward step. And as you shift forward, your back heel would come up and you would take a half step forward. So this step is going to require that you come right by your heel. Coming this far is too far forward, and this is too far back. So you can just see what it is. It's just stepping your normal forward step, and then a follow step. All the weight is down into this leg. I easily take my forward step, shift my weight, pick up my heel, and just bring the toe closer. Again, it's the more time you spend on the one leg, the better. So the heel comes up, I'm spending more time on this leg, weight bearing. Practice of looking forward into space to relax your whole body down into the ground is all part of it. So if you take a small step, there's plenty of people in my classes that take small steps. So if you take a very small step and your heel is right by your toe, right in front of your toe, well, all that's required is this. So it would be very similar to the forward step for you. There'd be no sliding. If you take a bigger step, then you have to follow step. If it's a small step, it's just requiring, then it becomes like a rocking. You just rock to the front and pick up the back heel. Right? So stepping and rocking. This is if you take a small step. I hope you can see it on the tape, but it's like I want to be, my toe wants to be near my front heel. 2 fall forward, 2 fall back. It's the follow step. You want to add the hand, it's basically the same. You can do the same. You can use the elbow to elbow. So as I step, and as I shift forward, I ride to the other elbow with my palms. Sorry, I did that wrong. The following step is used with the brush the knee step a lot. So if you want to just do a basic push out and a palm down. So this palm is going near the knee. This palm pressing down near the knee. Pressing down near the knee, pressing out with a half a step forward. If you do the sun form, Tai Chi for arthritis, the Sun, Paul Lamb's Sun form, it's like you're starting like this, stepping with a half a step forward. Right? You know the move. If not, you're just playing around. You're just trying to get your balance. The stepping is more important right now than the arm movement. Okay, the number 4 step is probably the most difficult one, I would imagine, or next to, it's one of the most difficult ones. And I'll do it this way so you can see it. It's stepping back. It's stepping back without moving, shifting. Toe comes up, sitting down into this leg, and stepping back. So the main point about this one is that the sole of your foot hits the ground in one shot. So I think of it as my heel is hitting the ground first. Of course it's not. My whole sole of the foot is hitting flat in one shot. So I don't move. Right? So I pick a spot on the wall that's not moving, I relax into here, my pelvic tilt automatically happens. And then I step. Toe comes up, I relax all the way down into this leg. This foot is already light. Before I take the step, this already working these muscles. So that's what the stepping back looks like. Right? The stepping back is the repulse the monkey step in most of the Tai Chi forms. It could be done, there's so many different ways, repulse the monkey. So basically, stepping. So let me try that again because that was off. That's how you would use the step in the Tai Chi form. This is the Y form for better balance. Repulse the monkey movement. Doesn't really matter. It just matters that I take that step without moving. Picking a spot, relaxing. The Wu form Repulse the Monkey is pretty, it's a little bit harder, but it's the same kind of idea. So I'm going to try to take a step without moving. So I'm sinking and turning, just like in that other set, relaxing, picking a spot and moving. But sit back. This foot is already light. And then I make the turn, sinking, spiraling all the way down into that leg. And then take the step. Repulsed Monkey. The next one is going to be Repulsed Monkey 2. It'll just be a different kind of a step. This step kind of looks like this. It's from Pakwa mostly, but it's in every Tai Chi form as well. It's kind of stepping like this. So the idea is that the foot is hitting the ground in one shot, and my whole body is turning in that direction. So that this back leg is the leg that's twisted, not this front leg. So I'll look like this. And this leg is twisted, not this leg. And then this just unwinds, and I move. So, right? It's looking like this. 1, 2. 1. So turning in on yourself. The hip is turning in to yourself. This leg is twisted. This leg has all the weight. This is very soft. Just unwinds and moves. Right? Then this is twisted, unwinds and moves. So you could see an advantage, maybe a confrontation or something. Two people, confrontation, you're here, and all of a sudden, you're here. It's just a quick way around. It's an easy way to practice the walking. So you could take 2, 3 steps and then do the turn. How good are you? How loose is your ankle? Maybe you could only make a 45-degree turn. Right? If I'm walking this way, this would be 90 degrees. I make a 45-degree turn. I turn my whole body 45 degrees and unwind that leg. I turn my whole body 45 degrees. And this leg is twisted. This leg is not. All my weight is on this not twisted leg. Foot is flat. I unwind. You seeing it a little bit? Right? In the Sun form, there's the Repulse the Monkey. And it's after you do this, so you're turning this foot in. So this foot's turning in, my whole body's turning. I'm going to make a 180-degree turn. Right? So I turn this foot in. All that happened is my hip did all the work. I didn't do this, and then this. Everything happened together. And now I could easily, because this foot is already light, I could just easily make the spin. My foot and my toe is still on the ground. I'm still, balanced and safe. Then I take my step. Half a step. I make this turn. Right? My whole body just turned. It could be a 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be full. But in the movement, it's whatever it is. Just to show a little better, because a lot of my classes in senior centers have people that use walkers and wheelchairs. And so I think it's important just to show at least one time real quick about the table, using the table for balance. And if I was you, I would, well, this is the table we have. But it's like, you could take all your chairs away from your kitchen table and just have this very slow walking. Because there's a little, you're safely balanced, you could pick up your legs a little bit higher and take it down slow. It's the length of time that's important between each step. You could pick your back heel up, put all your weight here, take a look way in the distance, and then take a very slow step. And as you go along, you might find that, oh, you don't have to hold on as much as you want, as much as there's no leaning, but you could start getting lighter and lighter. So look at this, you can get to the corner and turn this toe, but by turning your hip, turns with it. So if this is my dantian area, this is my belly button area, as I go like this, these two stay the same. This vertical line that comes down here is your dantian area. This whole body turns. It's one shot turning the whole body. And then the foot could go down. This foot is twisted. This is the one that's very light. And then step. So you could play around with the, we were calling that the repulse the monkey step. Right? So you can turn, shift your weight. That's all. And this holding on can get lighter and lighter and lighter as you move along the table. And when you have to, if you have to, you're very safe. So that's all I just wanted to say, to make it okay for you to practice some balance. And if you wanted to practice balance or standing on one leg, oh, I need to hold on, then you hold on. How many seconds? The longer this muscle group is being worked on, you're building those muscles. It's a weight bearing on the joints. So if that's what you were told you need, then this is a really good thing. It's very easy. And you don't need any new props. You have your kitchen table, any table, counter. Counters sometimes are, depending on your height, you're looking for something that's very easy. If I was against a wall, I could put my hand on the wall like this and walk along the wall. So not this. You can see the structure. If I do something like this, the structure is off. Or if I do this, the structure is leaning. So I don't want any leaning. I just want to glide along the wall. So good luck. And you're basically trying all this. You could try all this. That's what I was saying before about the side step. It would look like this. Is I want to keep my back straight. Just in case. The next thing I wanted to show this is a really good technique for helping balance. It's this kind of rocking back and forth. And it was first shown to me in a workshop about standing like a tree. So the standing postures and sitting postures, sitting meditation. And then this rocking was the movement part. And it's basically both feet, you can start both feet flat just to get your stride. And you just rock forward and rock back. It's very casual. There's no moves trying to stretch, there's no moving for balance. It should basically feel like you're not doing anything. It should feel like you're in a rocking chair and just rocking. And it's very, very easy, very, very simple. If you feel comfortable, then you can pick up your front toe, but the back foot would be flat. When your weight shifts forward, you pick up your back heel, front foot flat. And just see, can you get into that rocking where, this becomes very, very smooth, casual. Everything's sinking down to the ground. You're taking a breath in and just kind of relaxing down into the feet. This could go on for 30 seconds or 30 minutes. it's just very fun walking. You're in the pelvic tilt. You're just paying attention to yourself. What do your hands feel like? Feel any blood circulating in there? Any blood activity? Fingertips pulsing, vibrating, heavy, something cool, warm. What about your feet? What do your feet feel like? Feel your shoes, feel your socks, feel the ground. Feel any blood activity going on in there? Maybe in the toes. How about the top of your head, underneath your scalp? So this basic step, this is the Tai Chi ruler, and you're basically going to use this basic rocking. Switch feet as much as you want. You don't have to wait for me to switch. If you go to YouTube, there's a lot of, there's a form, and there's a lot of different people doing the form, so I don't need to do that. But I could just show you some creative movements up with it, and you can, if you want to learn the form, you can easily look at the YouTubes. They're very good. Anyway, this is the rocking. I just kind of let anything happen that's happening. I try to pay attention. What does my arm feel like? Is it getting heavy? Do I feel like this very light piece of wood? Does this feel heavy? Or what does it make me want to do? Maybe you make a circle. So in the workshop, you just basically toe-free movements. And this is in and out. The speed of the movement is kind of up to you, and you know what feels good to you. So you have an in and out. You have an overhand circle and an underhand circle. And that's it. Switch feet whenever you want. You don't have to get stuck in one position. You can take multiple steps. You're just making sure the floor and the ground, there's nothing in your way. Whatever's comfortable as far as shoes or bare feet, doesn't seem to matter too much. But it's just this rocking, and you're trying to get to a point where your mental attitude is changing a little. So it's kind of like a meditation, and you're just letting it happen. So the speed is, you're trying to find your perfect speed. I can't tell you what it is. Nobody can tell you what your speed is. You're looking to just feel like